What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Total Swans TV. I'm Tom, and this is your match preview of the Bristol City versus Swansea City match on Saturday at 3 p.m. The penultimate game to the end of the season. It's the last chance for the Swans to try and get those maximum points to possibly sneak into those playoff places just ahead of Cardiff on the last day. It's all still to play for. There's plenty of outcomes in which we can go into the playoffs, and a few other scenarios in which will rule us out of the playoffs for the remainder of the season. So Bristol City Saturday, as I say, 3 p.m. kickoff. Bristol are currently sat in 10th on 62 points, just 2 points behind the Swans, which obviously means if Swansea lose and Bristol beat us, then they will leapfrog us into whatever position. They're currently 10th. They can take our position of 8th. Obviously Millwall are, I think, just 1 point ahead of us, so goal difference bearing. They could even go above Millwall. Which then they would possibly still be able to sneak in with a couple of different scenarios on the very last day ahead of Cardiff, which would mean our season is pretty much then done. There would be too many scenarios in which would have to play out for us to even have a chance at the playoffs. So Swansea in 8th on 64 points, 3 points off of Cardiff in that 6th spot. A loss would mean it is all but done for us, and there'd be another season in the Championship. Same as a loss for Bristol would guarantee them another season in the Championship. And they'd be finishing mid-table, in which the seasonal objectives were to try and get into the playoff spot. For the Swans, it was sort of rebuild, and mid-table playoffs would be an overachievement, but would be kind of maybe not so much deserved on the inconsistency we've been on throughout the season. So the last 5 games, Bristol have lost 1-0 to Forest, and they lost 1-0 to Cardiff, in which their manager Johnson was then sacked after 4 consecutive defeats, and I think it was 7 defeats in the last 9 games without a win in all of those 9. After he then departed his post at Bristol City, since then they have had caretaker Dean Holden in charge, and which they've won 2 games and drawn a game since. That being, they've beaten Hull 2-1, they beat West Borough 3-1, and then they drew with Stoke last time out. That was a 1-1 draw with Filip Benkovic getting on the scoreline. That is only his 2nd goal of the season, but he took the lead just before half-time, I believe it was, and then it took until the 64th minute for Stoke to equalise. That did finish then 1-1 for the Swans. Last time out, it was a 2-2 draw away at Forest. Took the lead twice. Ryan Brewster getting the first goal of the game with a fantastic delivery from Jake Bidwell on the left-hand wing, and Ryan Brewster with his left foot, first time, striker's instincts, top corner. It was past Samba before he even made a move for the ball. Not long after that, Amiobi steps up and leathers a ball from about 20 yards out after a good tackle by Van der Horn, but unfortunately didn't come away from that incident with the ball. He managed to get, the ball was kind of just behind him, he managed to get his body turned, and it was a lovely shot into the top corner just from outside the box. We then had a penalty just before half-time. Andre Ayew stepped up, again waiting for Samba to make the move first. He delays his run up to the ball. It's a perfect penalty. The Swans go in at half-time 2-1 up. Unfortunately then, the Swans cannot hold on to that, and then Amiobi again with a thunderous strike, levelling things up for the 2nd time. A couple of changes were then made, but unfortunately then Kyle Norton decided to halt a counter-attack on the left-hand wing, right in front of the technical area and the 4th official, and of course Sabri Lamucci, which he then decided to throw his arms up in the air, rush towards Norton, and straight away Norton got up off the floor, looked at the ref, and before the camera even got to the ref, the red card was out. Norton just carried on walking down the tunnel. Looking back at it, 100% a red card. It wasn't in a dangerous area, but it was the intent and kind of way he caught the player on the back of the leg rather than clipping the heel. If he'd probably clipped the heel, it may not have been a red card, but it was dangerous and there was intent there. So fully deserved red card. Kind of killed the game off for us then. We made a bunch of changes once again, but just could not get a foothold back in the game. We kind of held on towards the end of the match for a draw. And I think that was kind of, to be fair, a fair result after the 90 or so minutes. But very unfortunate that taking the lead twice, we could not hold on to it, which is why we probably are in the position that we are. You know, there's been a few times where we've done really well and come from behind. I think we're one of the best teams from coming behind to pick up points in the league. We were top or second at one point in that sort of table. I'm not sure what we are anymore. But we're taking the lead, but unfortunately the last sort of few games and before lockdown, we just haven't been able to hold on to that lead and see out a game, kill off a game. We did it to Borough. We absolutely killed that game off. They scored their one goal after we had scored 3, and it was far too late for them to come back into the game. We were far too dominant in that game, but when we are on top, we do need to start taking these chances and take the second and the third goal. We saw some substitutions. Mulder made his first appearance for over a year. Obviously, Woodman going off injured in the game before the Forest game. But had Woodman been in goals, I feel that maybe at least Amiobi's second goal may not have actually gone in. Maybe the first one, but it was a good strike, and I'll give him the first one. But the second one, I think, a consistent playing goalkeeper probably would have got down a bit quicker and would have judged that shot a bit more. But looking ahead to the game on Saturday, what do I think? What sort of prediction? How do I think the game is going to go? Again, there's still so much to play for the Swans. Who really knows which way this is going to go until it does play out? We're inconsistent. Bristol haven't been really consistent, but they're undefeated in their last 3. Obviously, we lost to Leeds, which is when Woodman got injured, and we drew to Forest. But it's going to be a very tough game once again in the Championship. Both teams in the top 10, and there is still everything to play for. As long as there's things to play for, everyone's just got to go for it. Everybody has to go for it. So for me, I think the Swans will score a few goals, but I also think that with Mulder in goal and maybe some of the defensive options we will have this weekend, I think that we may concede as well, which is why I'm going to go for the same scoreline as the Forest game, and I'm going to predict a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a difficult game. We'll probably take the lead again through Ayew or Brewster, because really nobody else is looking like scoring. It would be great if we could get more the defenders or more the attacking midfielders on the score sheet, but it's just not really happening at the moment. And we're scoring quite a few from dead ball and set piece scenarios, so that's quite promising. But we do need more outfield players contributing towards goals. So I have now asked a Bristol City fan to provide their opinion and their thoughts on their season so far, their predictions for the game, and of course their score predictions. So here's Tom Rolls from Bristol City.
Hello mate, hope you're doing alright. My name's Tom Roll, I'm a Bristol City fan. I haven't got quite the most Bristolian accent in the world, but we'll go with it. Quick review of the season. We had playoff hopes at the start of the season. That's gone to pot. Hopefully get a new manager on board and we go again next season. Overall, the football we have been playing this season has been pretty poor, really, up until Lee Johnson did get the sack, and now Dean Oldham's come in, and we're looking half decent. The game tomorrow, I'm actually really looking forward to it. 2 attacking teams going for it. I know Swansea have got some real good attacking players, and to be fair, we've got some quite good defenders, so it should be quite a duel there. Score prediction for tomorrow. I'm going to go with my Super 6 prediction, which was 2-1 Swansea. I know I should never really go against my own team, but anything to keep Cardiff out of the playoffs would make me happy. So good luck for tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for coming on the channel, Tom. Tom is just a Bristol City fan. I don't believe he has any social media fan accounts or anything like that, or doesn't do any YouTube, but I do very much appreciate you providing that clip for the preview. All the very best to you next season. I hope you do find a manager who does a good job for you guys. But again, as I say every week, good luck after the game, because I obviously want the 3 points and possibly to still try and sneak into those playoff spots. I honestly do think it's done. We're probably going to be a championship team again next season. Reviewing the season, we probably don't deserve to go up even if we do sneak into the playoffs and somehow win them. But it's been an enjoyable season. It's unfortunate that obviously lockdown and the pandemic that we had prevented the fans from attending the last 9 games, but it is what it is. Leeds are probably going up this weekend, if not tonight, with the West Brom game. Huddersfield were winning 1-0 last time I checked, so I think that would guarantee Leeds promotion. So well done to them. Kind of glad they're going out with the league, as I said in the last video. But playoff spots, it's going to be difficult, and in the next video I'll probably give a roundup of who I think is going to get into them and who will do the best and probably win them. But my money's on Brentford at the moment. Fingers crossed if Cardiff do get in there, that Brentford do pick them apart. So that's it for this week's preview, guys. Come on the Swans, we need those 3 points on Saturday, and I'll catch you live for the game, obviously on the YouTube channel. We will be going live, I think 20 to 3, so hit the subscribe button and I will see you guys over there tomorrow afternoon. Have a great weekend.